Good morning. Welcome to Kimbition, Tarot Talk Tuesday, episode 2. The cup for today, the mug for today is F off. I mean, good morning. It's a cutie, right? Sorry. I figured I'd just show it, not because, partially because I love collecting mugs and I think they're adorable, but I feel like if you see part of it and I don't show it, you might want to know anyway, so let me just show it. Yeah, I'm a big collector of mugs, especially ones with cute sayings. So today's is this. Not necessarily reflective of my mood, but I think we can all relate to the mug. So episode 2, let's get into it. So Tarot Talk Tuesdays, I hope you're liking it. This is only episode 2. We went into the history of tarot with the first episode. If you didn't check it out, go check it out. This is going to be my journey, just the beginning journey, because it's a pretty long journey, how you get to researching tarot into doing tarot into creating decks and oracle cards, right? And tarot cards. So I'm just going to piece it up because I want to keep these very short and simple and just give you a little bit, little by little, rather than, because we're all busy. Do we have time to watch a video for hours and hours? Anyway, no. So let's keep it super simple, like the KISS theory, right? And let's just talk about the beginning. The beginning for me was having a rough time in my life, like probably many of you. You go through a tough patch, something's not going well, life is lifing, and you just need answers. You go to your friends, your family, your spiritual guidance, your pastor, your priest, and you're just looking for something. And then I'm at a fair. Me specifically, I was into astrology maybe at best at that time, didn't really know too much about tarot. Knew it existed, knew about cards, knew about psychics and readings and things like that, but didn't know all the history that I know now. But because my life was lifing and things were challenging and I was looking for answers, seeking clarity, guidance, and I was at this fair in my hometown, the Harvest Festival, and there was a tarot reader there. And there wasn't always one there, but this particular year there was one there. And I think it was like $20 for a basic little reading, just to introduce you to it. And I was just intrigued. I thought, $20? Like, really? Let me just see what this person has to offer. And it was a very impressive reading, especially because I had lived my life, so I knew the past, and they got it right. So, and they kind of knew the present, like pretty accurately, and then gave me some predictions. So, but you don't know that yet. But when I walked away, I was impressed, but because I'm such an analytical person, such a research-guided person, I wanted to know more. And so that's when I started to look into the history of tarot, because I wanted to know, where did this stuff come from? Is there something like magician-like, in tarot that made it so easy for her to read me? Or is she really gifted? Is there spirits? Because at this point in my life, too, you have to realize my belief in Jesus, my belief in God was really wavering because of lifing, right? And I think we all kind of go through that when times are tough, like how, if there's a God, would this be happening? But that's another tarot talk later on. I'm just going to start with how I got introduced. And that is it. I was at a fair. I was needing guidance because of my personal life, and somebody was there, and I paid the $20, had an impressive reading, but walked away wanting to know more. Like, what is the history? How did this go? And that's why I say go check out episode 1, because that's how I had to learn. I wanted to know more. And so I'm like, how did all of that history, if you go watch that episode, I'm like, how did that turn into something that could guide me and predict me? Like, because the history is not even where it was created to do these things. And so that's why I wanted to know even more, how did it evolve? And so I did. And what I found was, that it's kind of like a therapeutic tool, and it was helpful. But when I first got involved, it was not getting readings to get the clarity anymore, to be honest. I was trying to prove it a scam. Yep. So instead of taking the full messages that I got, which were helpful in some extent, and I'll go into that further, my initial was to prove it a scam. So I was going down the journey and the research of everything to prove it a scam. That's how I got started in tarot. One, that I needed it. It was there for me. And then I was like questioning it. Like, this can't be real. And I fought it for a little while, and I researched it for a little while, just to let you know. That's where we're going to end episode 2. Check back for episode 3 to go down further into the journey of what happened when I researched to try to prove it as a scam.